This is the sequence for the physical axis, and it includes 4 of the meridians or energy lines. The first one is the stomach meridian. It's very long and muscular on the front of the body. Stomach starts under the lower eyelids, and it goes all the way down, covers the front of the throat, chest, abdomen, thighs, shins, down into the second toe, stomach. Now, paired with the stomach is the spleen energy line, and that one is also on the front of the body, and it has to do with holding things together and lifting the energy up. So they're both very muscular, and they have to do with strength and integrity of the physical body. Okay, spleen starts in the big toe. It goes up the inner arch of the foot, helps support the arch of the foot, and then up through the inner knee, kind of the front of the inner thigh or the medial quadriceps, right across the center of the hip crease, and then all the way up, almost to the top of the chest. And then it turns and goes down to the side of the rib cage, about halfway down. And that's where you find the spleen itself. So the spleen organ is a lymphatic organ, part of the immune system, and it's tucked sort of in the lower left rib cage behind the stomach. Your stomach organ is about right here on the left side, lower, right under the diaphragm. The spleen is also connected to the pancreas, and so the energy of the spleen and pancreas are considered the same energy in this system. So when we talk about the spleen meridian, we're also talking about the pancreas. The pancreas is also toward the left side of the body, kind of behind the stomach in this area. The other 2 meridians in the physical axis are the lung meridian, and your lungs are here in your upper rib cage. They come up sort of almost into the base of the throat. And the lung meridian goes down from the top of the chest down into the thumbs. There's one on each side. All of the meridians are symmetrical. The last one is the large intestine meridian, and that one starts in the index finger, and it goes up the front of the shoulder, across the throat, jaw, over the mouth, and ends at the opposite nostril. So that's the only meridian that crosses the midline of the body. Now, the physical axis has to do with energizing the body. So we get energy from air, and we also get energy from food, and both of those are lung and stomach. So this is about strength, energy, metabolism, integrity of the body, integrity of the joints. So we're talking a little bit about the ligaments holding everything together, but also the deeper muscles and that kind of deep activation that you might find in some of the bandhas. The other component of the physical axis is purification of the physical body, but also emotionally. So the mental component is achieving mental clarity, clear thinking, and also purifying the mind in a way that there's not a lot of attachments and holding on to things you don't need. Okay, so that's what we'll be addressing in this strong sequence today. Let's start with feet together. And already start to feel your feet grounding down. That's the energy of the spleen. You can imagine that now anyway. This is earth element, down into the earth. Even as your feet are firmly planted on the ground, you can lift up out of that. That's really what the spleen does. As you press your feet down into the floor, sense that the arches are lifting up, and that energy can rise up through your thighs. So your legs are really strong. Big, strong muscles in your legs. Now reach your arms out to the side and then up to the top. Palms together, interlace your fingers. Squeeze your arms together. Reach up, feel the integrity of the body. Make everything more narrow, squeezing in to go up And then bend over to the right side. Just take a few breaths here. We're not working in the sides of the body today. It's nice to bend the spine in every direction in the beginning, keeping the integrity, the abdomen in, the chest open. Take a breath here, and then squeeze to come up to the top. Good, even more narrow, arms to your ears, legs together, strong muscles of your legs, squeezing, and then over to the other side. Just take it easy, but keep your legs strong. Legs together, chest open, abdomen in. Reach and breathe. Good, and then come back up to the top. Now, we need even more strength to go back. And we're working in the front of the body today, so when you lean back, you're opening the front of the body, and that's where your digestive tract is. It's a complex area of the body. So really press your feet down into the floor and squeeze all of your thighs muscles. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze your butt muscles. Send your hips forward a little bit already. And then push your feet so hard into the floor that you start to feel lifting up through the top of your chest. Lift your chest, feet down, chest up, chin up. Look at your hands. See if you can let your head go all the way back. Just let your neck be loose. Let your head kind of fall off the back. Still squeezing your legs together. Move your hips forward, chest up. Now arms back. You don't have to go far to get the benefits of this. But think more about the alignment, the integrity. Squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your butt muscles together. Contract your thighs upward. Navel in and up. Imagine you're lifting your whole digestive tract. Lifting all the abdominal organs. Imagine you can lift them up into your chest and then reach your arms back. Look back with your eyes. Even your eyes are important in the movement of energy. Remember, your stomach meridian is in the lower eyelids, all the way down your face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of your hips, thighs, shins, down to your second toe. Now lift your chest, come up. Bend your knees a little bit and hinge forward at your hips. Deepen your hip creases. Fold your body in half. Lay your abdomen down on your thighs. Move slowly. We're not working too much in the back of the body today, but allow the back of the body to open right now. Release your head down, back of the neck long. And it's always nice to check in on the pelvic floor here. Feel an opening between the sit bones as you lift the tailbone. If your legs are flexible, you can straighten your legs and even pull your head toward the floor, stretching your spine. If you do straighten your legs, think of pressing your feet down to contract your thighs upward and make it into a strong pose, or stay where you are. Now reach your arms all the way out in front, come up to the top, and step your feet apart. Open your arms wide. This is the lung meridian stretch. Reach through your thumbs. Try to feel a stretch in your thumb muscles. Shoulders completely relaxed. Now, the important part is the breath. See if you can breathe all the way up into the collarbones or up into the base of your throat, tops of the lungs. Each inhale, expand all the way up to the very top ribs. And feel how that intensifies the stretch through your thumbs. Keep breathing like that, reaching a little bit more each time. Let the breath do the work. The exhale is also really important in the lung. The lung controls the throat. The exhale and the emotion of sadness, letting go, grief. Now release your arms down. press it to the top of your chest. So right under your collarbone, just inside your shoulder, there's a little hole there in the top of the chest. That's an important point. We call it lung 2. It's called cloud gate. As you press there, you can make some circles with your arm. Circle back, maybe 3 times back, and then 3 times forward. If you can, think of reaching through your thumb as you do that. And then do the other side. Press into that little hole right under the collarbone, just inside your shoulder, very top of the chest. And then reaching through your thumb, make some circles forward and then back. Okay, and then we'll do the large intestine stretch. Now this one, remember, goes across the midline of the body, so we'll use a twisting position to stretch this meridian. Reach out through your right index finger as far as you can. Both shoulders relaxed. Now turn your face to the left. Try not to twist your chest. Only your neck is twisting. And then maybe bring your chin down toward your left shoulder. Reach a little bit more through your right index finger. And you might feel a strong stretch across the side of your throat. Maybe down through the front of your shoulder, maybe down through your biceps. Even tingling is normal to feel here as you are stretching some of the nerves in the brachial plexus. As you stay here, breathe again up into the very top of your chest. Each breath expanding all the way up to the top of your chest. Notice how your breath intensifies the stretch. Try to breathe into any areas of tension that you feel. Large intestine has to do with purification. Now release. And then we'll do the other side. Reach your left arm out. Palm is down. Extend through your index finger. And then turn your face to the right. Remember, keep both shoulders relaxed. Don't twist your chest, only your neck. Reach more through your left finger. And think of bringing your chin toward your right shoulder. Whatever feels good to you. Try to sense this pathway. Maybe you can turn your gaze more inward and sense from your index finger across the front of your arm, shoulder, throat, jaw, into your face, over to the right nostril. Each breath moving any stuck energy there. And then release. Okay, come back to the front of your mat. We're going to do some movements to create heat in the body. With the physical axis, we want to invigorate, strengthen, and purify. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. And exhale, fold. Release your head down. Inhale to lengthen your spine, look forward, and then step back. Now stay here in plank. Let's stay here about a minute. Try to keep your shoulders over your wrists, your body in a straight line, and pull your navel toward your spine so you start to feel the abdomen flattening against the spine, supporting the spine. These deepest muscles in the abdomen wrap around the waist, and they're closely related to the muscles in the pelvic floor and inner thighs. You can sense that as you squeeze the abdomen in, that the pelvic floor may also contract, that the inner thigh muscles start to activate, and the muscles on the front of the chest as well. Intercostals, pec major, quadriceps. All of these are part of the stomach and spleen energy, strengthening, integrating. Now we're going to slowly lower into chaturanga. Only do this if it feels okay to you. And then come forward into upward facing dog. You should point your toes back. In upward facing dog, think of having your feet about hip width apart and your big toes reaching back. Your knees are off the floor, so your thighs are contracted. Push your hands down, but keep the top of your chest open. Imagine lifting your chest, lift your chin, lift your gaze. Sense the whole front of the body lengthening, the chest, top of the lungs expanding. Now, downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Take a few breaths here. Spread your fingers really wide apart. Sense your thumbs, that's your lung meridian, and your index fingers, that's your large intestine meridian. Thumb and index fingers, especially pressing through the knuckles of those fingers to really open the top of your chest. Feel your lungs, right and left lungs expanding to support your shoulder blades. You might sense the whole digestive tract deep in the abdomen. It starts in the mouth. So if you swallow, you can feel the beginning of the digestive tract. It goes down the back of the throat, behind the heart, and down into the abdomen. Digestive tract is a muscular tube. Come forward into plank again. And stay here. So the strength of the digestive tract, which is also made out of muscle, allows us to digest the food, but also move it efficiently through the body. So that's an important part of stomach and spleen as well. Navel to spine, lengthen your spine. Feel the heat created by the contraction of muscle. Now slowly lower into chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Big toe, second toe reaching back. Eyes up. Top of the lungs expanding. Thumb and index fingers pressing down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale all the way. Each inhale brings chi, new energy, into the whole body. And each exhale is an opportunity to let go of any physical impurities or emotional. Come forward to plank again. Stronger each time. Feels nice to activate the muscles. This is a practice that can actually give you more energy rather than making you tired. Now slowly lower into chaturanga. And then upward facing dog. Big toe, second toe reaching back. Whole front body opening. Chest lifting. Downward facing dog. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Sense your thumb, lung, index finger, large intestine, big toe, spleen, second toe, stomach. Last one, come forward to plank and stay here. Squeeze your muscles. Abdomen strong, flat, hard like steel. Mind sharp. No attachments. Slowly lower down to chaturanga. And then upward facing dog. Squeeze your thigh muscles, push your chest up. Now downward facing dog. Breathe all the way in, all the way out. Now step your left foot forward And keep your right heel lifted, so we're in a high lunge. Squeeze your back leg extremely hard. Both legs are strong. Now raise your arms, interlace your fingers, Kali Mudra. You can stay right here, feel the strength of your back leg, or just lift your chest, look up at your hands. If you want to reach back a little bit. Breathe, chest up, chin up. Now come forward into Warrior 3, balancing on your left foot. Your body into a T shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just creating some heat and strength in your legs now. See if you can gently land in a high lunge. Reach up, chest up, chin up, look up. Maybe reach back. Normal breathing. Now hands down. Step back, chaturanga. Upward, downward. Right foot forward. High lunge. So your left heel is off the floor. Now create the stability with your muscles. Squeeze your leg muscles, especially your back leg. Reach your arms up, Kali Mudra. Chest up, chin up. Look at the ceiling. Look at your hands. Breathe. Push your chest up. Maybe reach back 1 inch. Now come forward into Warrior 3, balancing on your right foot, body in a T shape. See how strong your back leg is. Keep it that way and land in a high lunge. Back leg strong, arms up, chest up. Look up, look back, reach back. And then bring your hands down. This is one of those sequences, it gets easier the more you do it. Chaturanga, upward, downward. And that's because the muscles and the energy gets activated. That's what we're going for here in this sequence. Left foot forward now. Right heel lifted, high lunge. Reach up. Feel the activation of your leg muscles. Chest up. Chin up, reach up, reach back, look back, breathe. Now interlace your fingers behind you and raise your leg higher. Toppling tree. You can bring your body down and your right leg higher. See if you can land gently in a high lunge. Back heel lifted, back leg strong. Chest up, arms up, reach up, look up, reach back. Look back, keep breathing, back leg stronger. Now hands down. Chaturanga. Upward, breathe, downward. Right foot forward. High lunge, same. Back leg strong. Reach your arms up. Chest up. Reach back, look back. Squeeze your back leg. More. Now interlace your fingers behind you and come into toppling tree. Raise your left leg a little bit higher this time. Body lower. See how strong your left leg is. Keep it that way and land in a high lunge. Back leg strong. Arms up, chest up. Reach back, look back. Breathing. Hands down. Step back. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. I'm going to do one more set. Easier each time. Okay, left foot forward. High lunge, back leg strong, reach up. Reach back. Look back. Squeeze your back leg. Now hands down. Bring your hands by your left foot and raise your right foot all the way up. So this is standing split. Point your right toes and work to squeeze your right knee straight. Squeeze your right butt muscle and let your head reach toward the floor. So you're lengthening from your right toes to the top of your head. Push your right foot higher up. Push it to the ceiling. Feel the strength of your right leg. Now land in a high lunge. Back leg strong. Reach up, chest up, reach back, look back, hands down. Step back, chaturanga. Upward, downward. Now right foot forward, left heel lifted, high lunge. Last one. Squeeze your back leg, reach back, look back. Now bring your hands down by your front foot and raise your left leg all the way up. Point your left toes. Squeeze your knee straight, left knee. Push your left foot toward the ceiling and let your head reach toward the floor, lengthening from your left toes to the top of your head. Really push your left foot up to the ceiling. Keep your left leg strong. Now land in a high lunge. Reach up. Chest out, look up. Reach back, look back. Now hands down. Step back. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Breathe. Breathe in to draw new energy. Fill the body with chi, energy, light. Exhale, release any impurities, anything you don't need. See it leaving with the breath. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Now, left foot forward, right knee down. So this is a similar pose to the high lunge. I call it Kapiyasana. It's a low lunge. And it's got some of the same components. Bring your right knee down and point your right toe straight back this time. So your right big toe, that's your spleen. Right second toe is stomach. Feel how as you reach back through those toes, you start to activate the muscles in your back leg. Just like in the high lunge, you're going to have a lot of strength in your back leg. Bend your front knee more so your hips are sinking this way, forward and down. Now, the tendency here is to let this pose kind of fall out to the sides. But rather than doing that, squeeze everything in so you have the integrity. That's really important. Pressing through your front big toe, which is spleen, helps to keep the front knee in. Feel that narrowing of the pose so that you can lift up out of it. Pull your navel in and up as if you could lift your organs from deep down in the abdomen. And then chest up, chin up, eyes back, look back. You can start by sensing the whole right side of your body. From your right eye, down the front of your chest, throat, chest, abdomen, front of your hip, thigh, down into your second toe. If you'd like to add the arms, you can reach your arms out to the side like the lung stretch. Opening more your throat here. As you reach out through your thumbs, through your chest opening. Now lift your chest, come up. And bend your right knee. What a great stretch. Grab your foot. So depending on the flexibility of your thigh or quadriceps, this might be where you stop. But make sure that your hips are facing forward. Don't twist to the side. Now, if your thigh is more open, you can rotate your palm. It's also a shoulder stretch. So your fingers are pointing forward. We'll see this again when we do Bakasana. Now, don't bring your hips up. Keep your hips down where they were and start to lean back again. Maybe lift your chest. Eventually, your toes will touch to your ribs. But make sure you're breathing the same. Breathe down into the front of your thigh. Let the breath do the work. Gradually opening. This largest muscle in the body usually is on the front of the thigh. Holding lots of energy there. Now release your foot back down. Let's go back one more time. First, strengthen your back leg. Push your right foot down into the floor so hard that your knee lifts for just a second. Right? So that's the amount of strength you want in that back leg. And then lift your chest, reach out through your thumbs, breathe, release. Okay, step back. Chaturanga. Upward, downward. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Now, right foot forward, left knee down. Set your pose up carefully. Point your left toes straight to the back. Your big toe reaching back, second toe reaching back. Emphasize those toes and feel how that activates your whole back leg. And then bend your right knee a little bit more so that your hips get lower. Your hips go forward and down. But keep the alignment. Squeeze your front knee in, pressing through your right big toe. Narrow the whole pose so that you can lift up out of it. Pull the navel in and up as if you are lifting your organs, sliding the whole digestive tract upward. That's what allows you to let your head go back. As if you start from below the navel. Lift your chest, and then your neck doesn't have to do that much. Sense the left side of your body now. From your eye, down your face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of your hip, thigh, shin, into your second toe. If you like, reach out through your thumbs. Imagine you're reaching from your upper chest, the base of your throat, out through your thumbs. Open more there. And then lift your chest, come up. Now bend your left knee. Just grab your foot. You can stay there. Make sure your left hip is in the same line with the right. Maybe you can rotate your shoulder so your palm is facing forward, fingers pointing forward. And then press your toes, stretching your toes, the top of your foot and ankle. All of that is stomach meridian. Sink your hips down, lift your chest, lean back. Now breathe down into the front of your thigh. Each time a little bit deeper. See what you can move there. This is not just muscle stretching. We're moving energy. This has to do with the mind, the holding patterns in the subconscious, unconscious mind. Bringing them to light. Now release. Maybe go back one more time. But first, strengthen your back leg. You can press the left foot down. Lift your knee for a second. And then go straight back. Reach through your thumbs. Breathe here. Whole front body, chest, throat. And then come up. Okay, hands down. and step back. Plank. Take a minute here, just integrating everything. Navel to spine, strong front body. Light everything up. Now chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. That's something you can come back to over and over again, not only in your practice, but in your life. Now, bring your left foot forward. We're going to work toward Hanumanasana or front split. This is just a further extension of what we've been doing. We did high lunge, we did low lunge. Now we're going to do an extended lunge. You can point your right toes to the back and then start to inch your left foot forward, little by little. Now I like to keep a bend in my front knee until I'm further down. Rather than straightening it, try bending it, because we're really working on the right side of the body. If your left leg is forward, think of the front of your right hip. Now what's great is you can use blocks on the side of your hips. If you can't reach the floor there, put blocks under your hands. But if you use blocks, make sure they're back by your hips. So you don't want to be leaning forward. You want your torso to be about vertical. Now, we need the same amount of strength, if not more, in this pose as we did in the high lunges. So think of pushing now through your left heel. Strengthen your left thigh. And also, squeeze your right butt muscle. So you're actually trying to contract gradually all of your leg muscles. Your right butt and hamstring, and your left quadriceps, left thigh. Whatever you can contract in your legs, squeeze it. Wherever you are, you might try to raise your arms or just keep your hands down. Now release. Go right back to downward facing dog. Let's suppose you don't want to force in a stretching in a passive way. Step your right foot forward. But if you can use integrity and strength, squeezing your muscles, you'll make more progress and you'll probably have less soreness from it. Gradually inch your right heel forward. You can point your left toes to the back and eventually pick up your right toes and start to push through your heel. Use your blocks, have your torso vertical. So you think of opening the front of your left hip rather than your right leg. Focus on the left side of your body now. See if you can squeeze your left butt muscle, right thigh a little bit more. Squeeze all of your leg muscles. Whatever you can squeeze, squeeze it. Maybe raise your arms just for a few breaths and squeeze every muscle in your body. And then release right back to downward facing dog. That pose is a great pose to prepare for standing bow, which we'll do next. So come forward to a standing position. Now, standing bow is a great pose for so many meridians, but especially stomach and large intestine, okay? So let me show you the arm part first. Basically, the arm part of standing bow looks like this. You're reaching forward with one hand, and then you're grabbing your foot with the back hand and kicking up. So this is a large intestine stretch. So we see here across my throat. And the more I can twist my chest to the side and bring my chin toward my left shoulder here, the better the pose will be. And that's large intestine, right? The other part of it is stomach meridian. So when I kick up, one of the problems that people have is they twist open to the side, maybe so they can get their foot a little bit higher. But instead of keep getting your foot higher, just try to keep the alignment this time. So you should sense a lengthening on that side of your body from your lower eyelid all the way up to your big toe and second toe of that foot, because it's a back bend. So if you were looking in the mirror, you would see your toes come straight up over the top of your head. Let's try it, okay? The other part of it is that you have to strengthen your knees and legs. So before we do it, spread your toes apart and try to sense your big toe pressing into the floor. So if you try to lean forward, which in this pose you have to lean forward and put all your weight forward. If you lean forward, your big toe is what stops you from falling forward. So get that feeling, how strong your big toe needs to be. That's what you need in the standing leg of this pose. Keep your big toes pressing down and then lift up on the muscles of your thigh. So you should straighten your knee all the way. You don't have to push your knees to the back. Don't slam your knees back, but straighten your knees and then squeeze up on your thighs. Even pull up on your hamstrings so the muscles all the way around your legs are contracting. Your feet are really strong. It's a great pose to strengthen the arches of your feet as well. That's all about spleen and stomach, okay? Knee locked, thighs contracted, big toes pressing. Shift into your left foot, turn the right palm up and hold the inside of your right foot or ankle. Now bring your knees back together. Keep your standing legs straight and strong, hips about level, and stretch your left arm straight up toward the ceiling. Now already lift. Lift up out of your standing foot, lift your chest. And then keep the alignment and start to kick back. Keep your chest lifting. The lift is important. Standing legs straight and strong. Arch your back. Kick back to pull your right shoulder back. Reaching back through your right index finger. Feel that stretch all the way across the front of your right shoulder, throat into your face. Also reach forward through your right index finger. That's your large intestine. Now find your right big toe and push it up to the ceiling. Right second toe, squeeze your butt. Arch your back, lift your chest. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Release. Now, other side. Shift into your right foot. Feel your right big toe, your right knee straight. Muscles squeezing all around to support the knee. Lifting the arch of the foot. Now turn your left palm up and hold the inside of your left foot. Okay, knees together, hips facing forward. Keep your hips level. Right leg straight and strong. Reach your right arm up. Lift up out of it. Chest lifting. And then slow. Start to kick back. Lift your chest. Keep the lift. Arching your back. This is a back bend. Feel the strength of your standing leg. Strength of your kicking leg. Now kick back to pull your left shoulder back. Reaching back through your left index finger. Reach forward through your right index finger. Large intestine stretch. Across the front of your left shoulder, throat. Maybe even into your face, you feel that stretch. Now send your left big toe straight up. Second toe straight up. Arch your back more. Squeeze your left butt. Lift your chest. Eyes straight ahead. Stay here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Next, we'll do a purification technique called Nali Kriya. This is to move and massage your intestines. And the beginning of it is just Uddiyana Bandha, which is a great way to also activate your lungs, empty out your lungs, purify. So in Uddiyana Bandha, you have to exhale all the way before you start. And then, I'm not going to do it because I have to talk. And then press on your knees. You can round your back a little bit. As you press your hands down into your knees, you can use your chest muscles to suck the abdomen in and lift the rib cage. So it looks like this. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale. And that's Uddiyana Bandha. You should feel this hollow out in the abdomen. And if you do Nali Kriya, you're going to be contracting the central abdominal muscle, the rectus abdominis, and possibly rotating it side to side, rotating that contraction. So that will be like this. Inhale, exhale. And you inhale to finish. Try that a few times. This is not necessarily a contraction of the abdominal muscle. It's more about a lifting of the ribs upward after you've exhaled. So that creates a vacuum. Normally that vacuum will draw air into your lungs. But if you block your throat, then that same vacuum that you create is going to suck your organs up into your rib cage. Sometimes people cough in the beginning when they try that. That's normal, and it's probably a sign that you're doing it correctly if that happens to you. Now, let's do standing wind relieving. Come back to a standing position. And this pose is very similar to the regular wind relieving pose, but we're standing up. So it's going to compress the intestines, okay? Stand on your left foot and just bring your right knee in toward your chest. You should think of squeezing, compressing your thigh into your abdomen like this. Now there's some really amazing points on the front of the shin here. This muscle, tibialis anterior, you can massage the front of your shin. You might make some ankle circles like this. See if you feel any tenderness there. These are great points to release any stagnation in the intestines. Now, if that's easy, you might try binding in front of your shin. This is the bind similar to Marichyasana. Just squeeze there. Now, hold your big toe. Extend your leg straight. Raise your leg a little bit higher. Now pull the abdomen in. Even lean forward an inch. Keep your leg high, hands on your hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Other side, bring your left knee in toward your shoulder. Compress your thigh into your abdomen. So you're massaging the intestines there. And then you can press into those points along the front of your shin if you like. Make some circles with your ankle. Or, if possible, if you'd like to try it, bind in front of your shin. Getting your shin near your armpit, and then squeeze. Keep breathing. Now hold your big toe and extend your leg straight. You can raise your leg a little bit higher. Pull the lower abdomen back, navel to spine. Now hands on your hips. Don't lean back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Come to sit on your heels. We're going to go into Peacock. So if you know how to do Peacock pose, go ahead and do your variations of Peacock as I go through this explanation. In Peacock, you have to get your elbows into your abdomen. So there's 2 points here alongside the navel. Navel is here, then you have stomach 25, which is about 2 inches out. Another 2 inches out, you have spleen 15. So your elbows are going to be right in those points in Peacock pose. This is a great pose to strengthen your digestion, purify your abdomen. In order to get your elbows into your abdomen, you probably have to round your back a little bit like this. Everyone's body is different, so you have different proportion, length of arm, torso, different shaped bodies. So you kind of have to figure that one out for your own body, but somehow get your elbows into your abdomen. And your fingers are going to point to the back. You can do it with your fingers forward if that's easier for your wrists, but it's easier to balance if your fingers are pointed to the back like this, okay? And then the next step is to balance on your elbows. So you can put your head down to start and your toes down, lift your knees. Get used to that sensation. You're doing some deep acupressure in your abdomen. Feel the strength of the abdominal wall. And then you can lift your head, chin forward a little bit. See, my chin is forward so that if I fell forward, I would follow my chin, not my nose. And then I'm going to go forward to come up like this. Some people try to kick up. It's really impossible to come up by kicking up. You have to obey the laws of physics and shift your weight forward. It depends on the proportions of your body. It's much easier for some people to bring the soles of the feet together so that your legs are effectively a little bit shorter. Can also be done in lotus pose. Try that a few times. If this is a really easy pose for you, I suggest holding it a little bit longer. Make the abdominal wall extremely flat and hard, and try to keep the breath shallow but still moving. When you finish, sit back on your heels. And we'll do some abdominal massage, easy, on those same points. There's some additional points that are helpful to know right along the hip crease. So from your hip point down to the corners of the pubic bone, that's where your hip crease is. There's a ligament there. Right in the center of that ligament is spleen 12, right in the middle of the hip crease. And that's right on top of your psoas tendon or your hip flexor tendon. There's a pulse there, your femoral artery. But that's a nice place to focus on in child pose when you can kind of press your fingers into it like this when you fold forward. Especially helpful if you have any problems in your hip flexors, right? The hip flexors are important in the spleen meridian especially, and they're the kind of muscle that doesn't really like to be stretched. It's more of a muscle that relaxes. It can relax even in a forward fold, or when it feels supported by other strong muscles. Better to make it stronger. So you can press there. You can put your fist in your abdomen here, along the sides of the navel, to massage those 2 points we did in Peacock, stomach 25, spleen 15, that help with digestion. Okay? When you go down into your child pose, make sure that your head can rest on the floor, and if not, put a block under your head or a pillow, whatever you have. And once you fold forward, turn your fists in circles, or whatever feels good to you. The most important part, of course, is the breath. Breathe into your abdomen. Each inhale, feel the expansion of your breath against your fist. Inhale all the way down into your hip creases. And when you exhale, let it empty all the way out. So much of our worries are held deep in the abdomen, deep around the navel. And we can hold a lot of tension in the intestines, which are made out of muscle. You don't want them to relax all the way, but you want them to flow smoothly. You want them to have exactly the right amount of tone so that they don't create tension, spasticity in the abdomen. Often what we feel when we're stretching our hip flexors or in other positions is coming from the organs and from these deeper parts of our mind, rather than just simply the skeletal muscle. Take a couple more breaths there in child pose. And then when you're ready, come up. Now, if possible, sit in between your feet. Now, if this is not possible, sit on a block in between your feet. So you'll be elevating your hips only. This is internal rotation of your thighs. This may be enough for some people. Make sure your toes are pointing straight back. This is a really nice stretch for the spleen meridian, activation of the spleen meridian. If possible, lean back onto your elbows. From there, you can just let your head fall back. Try to keep your knees together. Or if you're more flexible, you can lean all the way back onto your upper back, head on the floor. If your knees have separated, squeeze your knees toward each other. They don't have to touch. And just relax your back. If your back is arching, that's fine. If your upper back is on the floor, then reach your arms over your head and hold your elbows. Press your elbows down into the floor. Lift your chest toward your chin. This is great for the throat and lung. Expand the top of your lungs as you breathe. Feel the opening in the solar plexus where your spleen and pancreas organs are. More on the left side. Feel this deep opening along the spleen meridian that goes from your big toe up the inner part of the calf, inner knees, front of the inner thighs, across the hip crease, up the abdomen into the chest, And then it goes down to the sides of the rib cage and into the spleen and pancreas. Feel your lungs expanding up to the top of the chest, out into your thumbs. And then slowly release, come up. Okay, just lay face down now. In this series, you can keep your legs hip width apart. If you'd like to emphasize the stomach and spleen meridians, when you bring the feet together, that's emphasizing more the kidney meridian. It's up to you. Think of reaching back through your big toe and second toe and contracting your thighs so that your knees lift off the floor. So you're pointing your toes, activating those muscles. Now interlace your fingers behind your back. And reach back through your thumbs to open your chest. Reach back through your big toe and second toe. Lift your chest, lift your thighs. Try to touch your thumbs to your heels. Feel your big toe, second toe, leg muscles squeezing. Breathe, top of chest, and then slowly release. Keep your fingers interlaced behind you. Now this time press your feet down into the floor, tops of your feet, big toes, second toe reaching back, knees lifted off the floor, feet down, knees up. Lift only your chest this time. Keep pressing your feet into the floor, big toes reaching back, chest lifting. Again, try to touch your thumbs to your heels. Front body opening, chin lifting, look up, and then release. Relax. Now come up into Sphinx pose, and we'll do Bakasana. I'll show you half Bakasana. If you know the full pose, you can do the full pose. Okay, otherwise bend your left knee and grab your left foot. Now, if your shoulder is tight, then you're just going to stay like this, stretching your thigh. That's a shoulder stretch too. If possible, rotate your palm like this so your fingers are pointing forward and your elbow is pointing straight up. Now, don't twist to the left. Face your chest exactly forward, your knee exactly back, and press your fingers toward the floor. See, fingertips touch the floor eventually. Breathe into the top of your chest, top of the left lung. Expanding, stretching front of your left shoulder, and then release. Let's do the other side. Try to keep your knees about hip width apart. Grab your right foot and maybe rotate your palm, fingers forward, elbows straight up. Chest exactly forward. Your navel should still be on the floor. Your left elbow on the floor. Now breathe into the front of your right shoulder, top of the right lung. Release. Relax. Next, we'll do a bow pose with lion's breath. We'll do 5 lion's breath. That is where you stick your tongue out as far as possible and exhale all the way. It's important to stick it out all the way, not just a little bit. And it's important to squeeze the air out. You don't have to make a loud noise when you do it. You can, but you don't have to. You just have to exhale all the way. Okay? Bend your knees and hold your feet from the outside, thumbs pointing down. Take it easy. Kick to come up into a bow. And then 5 lion's breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Stick your tongue out all the way. Really exhale. Squeeze all the air out to go deeper. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. Let everything go. Release. Relax. Now press up into Cobra. Downward facing dog. And come forward to plank. Now we're going to lower knees, chest, chin to the floor for the throat stretch. For this one, you want to have your chest on the floor. Upper chest on the floor. And chin forward. If your chest is not on the floor, then you should back up a little bit. You should be able to lift your shoulders off the floor. So you're not resting on your shoulders. All of the weight is in your chest. This is to stretch your upper chest. Lift your chin and stretch it more forward. Walk your knees in if possible. Keep your chest down. You might bend your knees and hold your ankles. Breathe into the very top of your chest. Eventually, skin of your throat is on the floor. Stay here. Imagine there's a weight in your upper back, sinking down into the floor, just behind your lungs. Now bring your hands on your shoulders and slide your hips forward and down. Push your chest up, chin back. Separate your knees a little bit. And maybe bring your toes toward your head. Downward facing dog. Come forward and sit on your heels. Just going to show you a couple of points here. We already learned lung 2. Another nice one is lung 6, which is about halfway down your forearm. This is your radius, and this is your ulna. So we're talking about the radius thumb side of your forearm. And you can press into the inner surface of your forearm there on the radius thumb side. That is lung 6. It's quite nice. It's a good way to release tension, even muscular tension, along the lung meridian through your arms and upper chest. So try that point on both sides. See if it feels tender. Wiggle it around a little bit. Lung 6. And then large intestine 14 is another great point to open your chest, your shoulders and neck. And it's at the point of your deltoid. So if you can flex your deltoid muscle, you can see it comes to a point here on your upper arm. And right on the tendon at that point, you can find a little tender point there. Massage that pretty firmly. I kind of wiggle it around a little bit, stimulate it. That can really help open your chest as well. Shoulders and neck. And then we're going to go right back into that same sequence a little bit quicker this time. Okay, come to lay down. Feet about hip width apart. Reaching back through your big toe, second toe. Activate your legs. Interlace your fingers behind you. Reaching back through your thumbs. Come up into locust. Arching your back. Strengthen your legs. Lengthen your legs. Big toe, second toe. Thumbs reaching toward your heels. Bring into the top of your chest. Now release. Keep your fingers interlaced. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Big toe, second toe, knees lifted. Only your chest comes up. Legs are strong. Knees up, feet down. Push your thumbs towards your heels. Breathe into the top of your chest. Now release. Bakasana. You can do what we did before. Maybe you can do both sides. Grab both feet, rotate your palms, fingers forward, toes forward, knees pointing back, hip width. Arch your upper back. Breathe into the top of your shoulders, top of your chest. This is a shoulder stretch, not just a thigh stretch. Release. Now cobra. Downward. Come forward to plank and lower down. Let's do bow again. We can just do 3 times lion's breath. Bend your knees. Hold your feet from the outside, thumbs down, and then kick to come up. Each exhale, go a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. In. One more. Release. Relax. Now cobra. Downward. Plank. And lower knees, chest, chin for the throat stretch. Upper chest on the floor. Think of the top 3 vertebrae in your upper back. Thoracic vertebrae. Pushing down into the floor. Keep breathing. Lift your chin and stretch it a little bit more forward. Maybe you can interlace your fingers behind your back or hold your ankles. Keep breathing. Imagine you're stretching your trachea in the front of your throat. Now shoulders, hands under your shoulders. Slide your hips forward and down. Chest toward the ceiling. If your hips came off the floor, push your pubic bone into the floor. Push your chest into the ceiling. Chin back. Separate your knees. Toes to your head. Release, downward. Now come forward and sit on your heels. I'll show you another point or set of points that's really helpful. In the next pose we'll do is camel. So right behind the collarbones. These are your collarbones here, clavicles. And you can sort of curl your fingers back behind your clavicle. And then let your shoulders relax so your fingers are there. And one thing you can do is just kind of wiggle that area around. It's an excellent point for lymphatic drainage, but it's also a place where you can press to help release tension in your throat, the front of your throat. So many people have difficulty in letting their head fall back in poses like camel. If that's the case, what I recommend is to pull the abdomen in, lower abdomen in, so you're lifting the organs upward. That's going to create space. Keep that, and then press behind the collarbones, anchoring that tissue. First, bring your chin down, and then stretch your chin straight up. You don't have to drop your head all the way back, but just move your head, your chin up and down. A few times maybe you can drop your head further back each time. Right? But that lift has to come from down below the navel. So it's your digestive tract, which is moving through the throat and in the esophagus. It's also your lungs, the top of your chest, and the trachea, which is in the front of your throat. One other point that's helpful is right in this notch above the sternum. There's a little hole here. So you have these two muscles that come down, sternocleidomastoid, clavicle, sternum. And you don't want to push directly into your throat, but you can make your finger like in this shape. And sort of, some people can, some people don't like this. You can just gently slide your finger down the back of the sternum or the manubrium there. And see if you are holding any tension there. That can really help. It can be a little bit emotional, releasing tension behind the sternum. Okay, so keep those in mind. We're going to go into a short camel pose, focusing more in the throat, but also the solar plexus. And we'll have the option to add Bhastrika, this rapid breathing, which is a pumping in the solar plexus. This is going to help clear out any remaining stagnation in the stomach, but also in the throat. Okay, stand on your knees. And you can have your hands on your hips. You can actually leave your hands on your hips the whole time if that's better for you. Or you can put blocks on either side of your feet or grab your heels. But first, strengthen your legs, strengthen your abdomen, your butt muscles, and then lift up out of that, navel in and up. Lift your chest, lift your chin, look back. If possible, reach for your heels. Now, stay here and breathe normal. Or if you'd like, if it's not too much, Bhastrika. As you continue Bhastrika, feel that you're moving any remaining stagnation in the solar plexus and the stomach and the whole digestive tract. And then another option is lion's breath to clear any remaining tension in your throat. Let's try it 2 times. Inhale. Inhale. Now bring your hands to your hips, lift your chest, sit on your heels. Close your eyes. Just concentrate there. Think of anything you'd like to let go of. Anything you'd like to release or purify, let go of. We'll do a longer hold of camel next. You can go into it with that intention of letting go, something specific. We'll have the option to hold it for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes sounds like a very long time to hold camel pose. But I like to remind people that we often sit in terrible positions for long periods of time. Like when you have your phone, say you're looking at your phone and you're sitting like this. Often you can spend a half an hour easily with your head hanging forward, which is actually terrible for your spine. And yet time passes really quickly. But then when you go to drop your head back, 30 seconds can seem like a long time. much less 5 minutes. But actually, this extension of the neck spine, the cervical spine, is very healthy. Of course, if you have any kind of bone injury, you might want to skip that part. But for the majority of people, dropping your head back is very, very beneficial. It can feel extremely emotional, anxiety provoking. It can feel dangerous. But the fact is that this is a emotionally vulnerable part of the body. So when a predator kills its prey, it usually grabs it by the throat. This is an area of the body that we're sort of engineered to keep protected. And so when we go into camel pose and we have this area of the body exposed, it can feel quite vulnerable. And you don't have to stay in the pose, but if that feeling arises, you can become an observer of that. If you want to, you can just watch the emotions as they rise, watch the energy as it moves through. And that's a really powerful practice to develop that part of yourself, which is the witness or observer. So that while part of you feels chaotic or in turmoil, there's also a part of you that remains unaffected, undisturbed. And that's the part of you that you can strengthen with practice. Okay, so in this camel, if you'd like to try it, you can remember that it's a very safe position for your spine. You're opening, taking pressure off the discs in your spine. And that if intense feelings arise, often it's an emotional wave rather than an actual physical danger. Of course, make sure you're in a safe environment when you practice it. Okay, so I'm going to time the pose just to make sure that it's exactly 5 minutes and you know how much time you have left if you'd like to stay. So go ahead and stand on your knees and we'll set it up. Starting now. Strengthen your legs, strengthen your hips, abdomen, navel in and up. Hands on your hips. Now lift your chest. Lift your chin. Squeeze your muscles so you have integrity. You have the support and strength. You trust in the physical strength of your body to support your organs, support your skeleton, your joints. If you can, reach for your heels or reach for your blocks, or just keep your hands on your hips and continue to feel that strength, lifting the digestive tract. Feel your intestines moving upward, creating more space in your chest, in the back of your throat, so you can sense the stomach meridian from your lower eyelids down your face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of your hips, thighs, shins, down into your second toe. Stomach meridian, spleen meridian, big toes, up to the inner knees, inner thighs, front of the hip crease, abdomen up to the chest, down into the sides of the rib cage, supporting, squeezing in, lifting up. And start to move your awareness up into the top of your chest, the base of the throat. Think of those points you are pressing behind the collarbones, releasing there, behind the sternum, right in the center. Expand your breath now up into the very tops of your lungs. Maybe you can even breathe down into your thumbs. Have a sense of expansion and opening there in the lung. And then maybe come back to your idea of surrender. or letting go. If there is something that you wanted to let go of, you might focus on that now as you breathe in and out. You're halfway through now. Stay for yourself. Stay and be the observer. You don't have to go deep. But if you stay, you can be there for yourself, watching the energy move. Each inhale bringing new light, energy, strength, possibility. Each exhale washing away the impurities, letting go of the old. Expanding down into your thumbs, tops of the lungs, all the way up into your collarbones, expanding. Whole body illuminated. Slow down your breath so that each inhale and exhale takes almost a whole minute. How slow can you breathe? How much can you allow the exhale to really empty out? You have only 1 minute left. Stay with it. See what it feels like, or imagine you could really let go. What would be left if you really let go? Knowing the strength and integrity of the physical body is there to support you. Allow the breath to move in and out. Moving the energy. Only 20 seconds left. 10 seconds. Now, when you release, do not fold forward. Just sit on your heels and then extend your legs out in front. Try not to fold forward and lay down on your back just for 1 minute. Lay flat and allow the energy to continue to move here. Feel the energy. Let your body relax. The energy flowing. Now bring your knees to your chest. Just breathe down into your abdomen. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Breathing here. Massage your lower back. And then rock up to a seated position. And come to sit on your heels. Move into rabbit pose, which is a great way to strengthen the front body, compressing your throat and your abdomen, stomach and lung. And have your feet together and then hold your heels from the outside. Okay, abdomen in, lift your chest, chin down. Start to roll forward. So as you round your back, keep holding your heels. Pull the navel into the spine, chin to chest. See if you can get your forehead down to your knees. By rounding your back, keep pulling navel to spine. Strong contraction of the abdomen and throat. And then once you get your head to your knees, you can lift your seat up a little bit. Keep your forehead and knees together. And then lift your hips up. If your forehead comes away from your knees,
Try to bring it back in. Navel to spine, chin to chest. Squeeze your throat, squeeze your abdomen, round your back. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and push your hands down into your feet. Your elbows should be locked. Breathe into your back. Breathe into the back of the navel. Now slowly release. Bring your seat down. Vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling up so that your chin comes up last. And then release your legs out in front. For spinal twist, Matsyendrasana. Cross your right foot over your left knee, or any variation of this that you know. Try to keep your hips level. Left hand behind your sacrum, easy spinal twist. Make sure that your spine is tall. So you should feel both of your lungs expanding all the way up to the top as you twist. Left lung, right under your collarbones, expanding. If you want to bring in the large intestine stretch, and try taking your elbow to the outside of your knee, and then you may be able to bind. But if not, just reach straight out. That's your index finger. And then chin toward your right shoulder. Both lungs expanding, twisting and breathing. Feel that stretch maybe across your throat and shoulder. And then release. Now switch your legs. So your left knee is up, twist to the left. Left hand right behind your sacrum, spine tall. As you twist, feel the breath expanding up into the top of your chest, right up under your collarbones, tops of your lungs. Right lung, left lung, equal. If you want to add the arm stretch, bring your right elbow outside your left knee. Keep twisting, reaching through your index finger. Feel a nice stretch across the front of your arm, shoulder, throat. And release. Bring your legs out in front now. For Navasana, a strengthening pose. Legs straight, spine straight, arms straight. Look at your big toes, navel to spine. Now we're going to add Bhastrika. Fingertips down, inhale. Exhale, forehead to your knees. Now release, lay down on your back. Relax. Move into a closing sequence. In bridge, you're going to bring your chest toward your chin. So you'll be compressing your throat in this pose. You can step your feet in, heels near your sit bones. And then, if possible, hold your ankles, or you can just press your palms into the floor. And then push your hips up. As your hips go up, walk your shoulders under you. First, just get your hips high up. And then start to expand, breathing, expanding your chest toward your chin, top of the chest. If you like, you can bring your hands under your hips or lower back, supported bridge, and stay here a little bit longer. The lung controls the throat. It's a great way to practice Jalandhara Bandha, which is the chin lock, important in pranayama practices. Take a few breaths here. And if you're in supported bridge, you can raise your legs straight up for shoulder stand. Or you can release bridge and then raise your legs. It's another pose where you can practice throat compression. Of course, you want to be careful. Never turn your head to one side here. In fact, you should close your eyes. You can concentrate in the base of your throat, or maybe in between your eyebrows. Notice your breath. When you're upside down, it's easier to exhale. The gravity is assisting the exhale as the weight of your abdominal organs is pushing your lungs back up into the rib cage. Allow the exhale to extend. Allow the breath to become subtle. Now, plow pose. You might do it with your knees bent. And try to bring your knees either to your forehead or to your ears. Keep your hands on your lower back or pressing into the floor. See if you can sense the back of your lungs. Breathe into the back of your lungs. Lungs are in the upper back. Each exhale a little more complete. And then interlace your fingers behind you. Start to slowly, with control, lower down. When your hips are down, you can lift your chest, pushing your elbows into the floor, let your head fall back. So you're opening your throat. Still breathing into the top of your chest. And then lift your chest, tuck your chin, lay down flat in Shavasana. Relax your whole body, just for a few moments. Let everything be heavy, sinking down into the floor. No tension. Any remaining impurities, fatigue, just draining down into the earth. And we'll scan these 4 meridians in the physical axis. Bring your awareness into the solar plexus, above the navel, deep in front of the spine where the breath originates. Sense something there. From there, the energy divides and rises up into the lung organs, which are in the top of the rib cage. Sense the lungs. The lung energy emerges at the top of the chest and goes down through the outer biceps to the outer elbow crease, down the forearm to the outer wrist crease, into the thumbs. Sense the thumbs. Now the index fingers is large intestine. This energy goes up the back of the hand and forearm to the outer elbow, the front of the upper arm, front of the shoulder, across the throat and jaw, over the mouth to the opposite nostrils. Now, under the eyes, just under the eyes is where the stomach meridian begins. It goes down the face, down the front of the throat, behind the collarbones, down the front of the chest, rib cage, abdomen, down to the corners of the pubic bone. And then it moves out and goes down the quadriceps to the outer kneecap, down the front of the shin to the top of the ankle, top of the foot, second toe, stomach. Now sense the big toes, spleen. This energy goes up the inner arch of the foot, inner ankle, inner knee, front of the inner thigh, across the hip crease, up the abdomen, to the chest, and down to the sides of the rib cage. And it goes deep inside the spleen, pancreas, stomach, and the lower left rib cage. Thank you for practicing with me today. We can conclude with Om Shanti. May all beings everywhere be at peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's do some pranayama practice for the physical axis. We'll start with the ah sound, which is a purification of the lower body, and so that would be good for the stomach and spleen energies. The emotion is worry that goes with those meridians. For the ah sound, you just need to make the ah sound loud and long, and make it as long as possible so you're really releasing everything while you make the sound. When you practice pranayama, make sure that you're in a comfortable seated position. You don't have to sit on the floor. You can sit in a chair, just so long as your spine is straight and you feel relaxed. Okay, for the ah sound, first inhale, and then exhale. Ah. Let's do it one more time. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Ah. Now bring your attention into the base of the throat. There's a sound to purify the throat is so. We'll make the so sound. The shape of your mouth is important. When you make the ah sound, your mouth is wide. And when you make the so sound, it's more oval shaped. So, like that. Let's do that 2 times as well. This helps release tension from the throat and sadness, which is associated with the lung. Okay, inhale. So. Again, inhale. So. And those are great ways to clear energy, emotions, and prepare for pranayama. Kapalabhati is a purification technique that's also a breathing practice. And this is to clear out your head, clear out your breathing airways, both inside your head, but also in your throat and lungs. It's also a good way to clear the solar plexus and the energy of digestion. So Kapalabhati is a forced exhalation. It's sort of like coughing, like that. When you cough, you have to contract the abdomen to push the air out, but you're doing it through your nose. So if you were to blow something out of your nose, say you got a bug in your nose, you'd have to blow it out. And that's exactly what Kapalabhati is. Notice when you do that, you're contracting the abdominal muscle. You should focus in the navel region and feel the contraction, feel all the movement in the navel region. Keep your shoulders relaxed and try to keep your face relaxed also for Kapalabhati. First inhale deeply and then exhale all the way. Now inhale halfway. Begin. Conclude. Exhale. Now breathe normal. Might close your eyes and just notice how your breath is moving. Notice the rate of inhale and exhale. And just by paying attention to your breath, sometimes it begins to slow down automatically. The foundation of pranayama is the idea that the breath is not just moving air in and out of the lungs. It's moving energy through your whole body and connecting you also to the energy of the whole universe. So you might imagine as you breathe now with your eyes closed, you can visualize better the energy of the whole universe. Imagine the entire universe made of just energy or light, vibration. Everywhere the same. inside and out, everything energy, formless, boundless. Even your own cells. The breath breathing itself. Imagine the energy flowing in on the inhale, filling your whole body. Emptying out on the exhale. The inhale bringing new light, energy, positivity. And the exhale releasing any negativity or impurities. Have faith in the breath and these ideas, and the infinite energy and light of the universe moving through you with each breath. Next we'll do Bhastrika, which is similar to Kapalabhati, but it's shorter and faster. It's exactly like a sniffing dog. So not only do you force the air out, but you also suck the air in rapidly, like you're sniffing the air in. You can try it slowly, or start to speed it up. The movement again should be in the solar plexus, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed as much as possible. You can flare your nostrils a little bit to make it easier. This is a great way to move energy through all of the channels. You're also creating some heat and fire in the solar plexus, strengthening that digestive fire again. After we do a round of Bhastrika, we're going to hold the breath. When you hold your breath, you should never hold your breath longer than you feel comfortable. When you hold your breath, you can use your right hand thumb and ring finger to block your nose. And if it's comfortable, while you're holding your breath, you can lift and squeeze the pelvic floor. Bring your chest up and your chin down. Close your eyes and concentrate between your eyebrows. When you exhale, try not to make any sound. Silent exhale. Inhale again. Hold your breath, block your nose. Lift the pelvic floor, chest up, chin down, and concentrate between your eyebrows. And then slowly, silently exhale. Let's try a round of Bhastrika followed by 2 breath retentions. Okay, first inhale. And then exhale all the way. Inhale halfway. Begin. Now exhale, inhale, and hold your breath. Block your nose.
Squeeze the pelvic floor, lifting, chest up, chin down, and concentrate between your eyebrows. See a light there. When you exhale, silently release the air slowly. Keep watching between your eyebrows. Again, exhale. Inhale and hold. Block your nose, pelvic floor, chest up, chin down. Watching. See a light there between the eyebrows. Now very slowly, silently, exhale. Keep watching. You can try another round of Bhastrika. This time, if you'd like, you can hold your breath out. So the exhale retention is a little bit more difficult or intense than the inhale retention. But you can always adjust the length and maybe just try it for a few seconds for the first week. Gradually, you can increase the ability to hold the air out. This is powerful practice to build resilience in your nervous system and to strengthen your lungs. Okay? It looks like this. You will inhale and then exhale all the way. Then block your nose. And then you can lift the pelvic floor, chest up, chin down. When you release, you want to slowly inhale. Silently, try not to make any sound when you inhale. You don't have to hold it for as long as I count. You can inhale whenever you're ready. Just try to do it slowly with control. Okay, and observe how you feel. First, a round of Bhastrika. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. Begin. Exhale. Now inhale deeply. Exhale all the way. Hold your breath. Block your nose. Lift the pelvic floor, chest up, chin down. Keep watching between your eyebrows. Now very slowly, silently inhale. Keep watching there. Again, inhale. Exhale all the way and hold your breath. Focus between the eyebrows. Now, slowly, no sound, inhale. Keep watching. Breathe normal. Through breathing practices and meditation, can increase our ability to focus, have more clarity in
our thoughts and intentions. Let go of the past and open the way for new possibilities. Thank you for practicing. Let's finish with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.